What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 4th episode of Studio 214, the show where college students take on bigger than college topics. My name is Malachi, and these are my co-hosts, Hello Karen and Cynthia. For this episode, Cynthia, Hello Karen, and I are talking about technology. What was our first major device? Can we go through life without it? And is AI going to take over the world? Find all of that out and more on this episode of Studio 214. So we all had different devices for our first major device. So, hello, Karen, do you want to start off with your first major device and explain what that was?
Sure, yeah. I didn't grow up with a cell phone or anything like that. Those weren't popular until I was in my early 20s. I got my first cell phone at 21, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, I had Nintendo and stuff like that, but as a kid. But I had my first cell phone. I don't remember the brand, but it was like this little bitty tiny cell phone. It was made by Singular, who later on was bought by AT&T.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Oh.
Singular was the company where he'd be like, "Can you hear me now?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that came from.
Okay.
But and the guy that now works for Verizon used to work for Singular, so he just learned a whole bunch of stuff. But it was a teeny tiny little bitty phone, and I remember it was so fun, because it was like that big, but it was still fun to slam it.
Slam it, yeah.
Because it was like, but it was like.
It's like a physical thing, like if you're mad at someone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done talking to you, slam it.
Yeah, now it's just like.
Gets that anger out.
Now you're like.
You just press it aggressively.
I'm telling you what, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same, so.
Did yours have, I know my mom had one where like the keyboard slid under it.
Not
was yours
that.
like the number?
Yeah,
like,
that one was the whole T9, you're like doing like 3, 5, 4 times, all the, all that jazz. And it had like literal ring tones. Like it didn't play songs. I remember I had Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, but it was like, deet, deet, deet,
Yeah, all the beeps, yeah.
Deet, 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 deet. So it was like, but I loved that phone. I felt so bougie, I felt so cool back then.
Walking around the school
Yeah.
with it, yeah.
Yeah, but so much times have changed. I was 21 years old, and that phone was like, I think it was like $250.
Dang.
Which,
Wow.
In 2004, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, yep, that was, wow.
The throwback.
Yeah.
Cynthia, how about you?
My first phone was like the Sidekick. So it had the like keyboard and everything. I really wanted that because I knew that I would be terrible with like the numbers and everything. So, but I got that when I was, I think, 18 or no, around probably 18 or 16, and because like just to get around.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm wrong. I think I was 13 because I had it in middle school. So, but like I felt like so cool with it just because.
Yeah, it like switched out.
Yeah,
It's like the physical
like,
thing.
hold on, let me send a text. Whoosh.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was my first phone.
So for my first one, I actually brought it here. It's an iPod Touch. I don't know what
small.
generation it is. Yeah, here, I can compare it. This is my current phone, and then this is the iPod Touch. It's like half the size of the phone now. I got it, honestly, I just know I got it for Christmas from my grandma, and me and my cousin both got one. And I don't remember how old I was. I think I was in middle school. And it didn't have any cell service on it, so you had to connect to internet. So I guess that was good. I don't know why they gave it to us. I guess it was just like a form of entertainment. At least I'm not an iPad kid, because now everyone, or I think what all the kids get now is an iPad.
Yeah.
And then they'll have like a watch that has like the contacts on it. Because like I've babysat before, and the kid had an iPad to do like YouTube and all that stuff, and it was like, had the parent controls on it. But then his watch, he can like tap on. This is how I know I'm getting older. Because I was like, how did you do that? You are 7 years old.
Yeah.
He pulled up the watch and like called. And it wasn't an Apple Watch. Apple Watch, I know how to use that.
Yeah.
But he called his mom. He was like, Mom, can I get McDonald's for dinner? And I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
what is going on? So that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That is going to be crazy. And speaking about crazy tech, let's go into our technology today. What's our favorite tech today? So, hello, Karen. I'll start with you.
My favorite, I would have to say, would be my phone. I have a Pixel phone. I have a Google Pixel 6. That's like my all-time favorite because it's my lifeline, you know. All-in-one camera, all that good stuff. Because, you know, again, I grew up in the day when your phone didn't have a camera. You had a digital camera you carried around separately. So this is just amazing. And then I have my watch. You know, I have a watch. And I also have my earbuds, which honestly they hurt my ears. But my phone and my watch would be my two favorite things because they're just like they make my life like a lot easier.
Does your watch connect to your phone?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
always the best.
It's one of the Fitbit, like a Fit. I think it's called a Fitbit. See how much I know. But it's really like it comes in handy. You know, if my phone's somewhere else, you know, not like glued to me. The watch will ring and I can talk and be like, hey, what's up? You know, it's just, I don't know. It's when you know you're getting older when things like that are just amazing. I also get excited when I get like a new vacuum cleaner. And
Heck yeah.
So, I mean.
It's like when I go in Best Buy and I see those like hair dryers.
Yes.
That will like.
The Dyson ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, this is cool looking, but I don't know what it does.
It's weird. They're like round and it's like, how does that, I don't know. I want to ask them sometime to like show me.
Like have a demonstration.
Yeah, I mean, before I buy it, I want to know if it works.
Yeah. What about you, Cynthia?
Not buy it.
Mine is actually my Kindle because I love to read and I've been reading on my phone a lot and it's really been messing with my eyes. So I asked for a Kindle this year and it has severely been like so much better because you can read in the sun and there's no glare or anything on it and you can like adjust it like the brightness and you can have it on like black and white or white and black like the text. So I've been loving my Kindle and also my Switch as well because I mean, it's a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, both of them are portable forms.
Yeah, portable forms, and it's just great.
Yeah, so. I like the Kindle because the Kindle has like a papery texture to the screen. Yeah. So that it kind of feels like a book, but it's still like technology. Yeah. So and that is probably like the anti-glare screen probably. But yeah, I had a Nook back in like the early days of high school because I had to read books for summer. Like each summer you had to do a reading, so I just got it on the Nook before I got my iPad, and I like that little thing because it also keeps you away from distractions. You're not gonna have a notification that pops up on the Kindle or the Nook. It's just an online book. Yep. It's a tech book.
Do you feel like you read more? You know, have one of those versus like a physical book?
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
It's easier to carry around, like because that could be a whole bookshelf. So
it basically is like right now, and also it has a built-in dictionary. So any like words that you just click on it, you get the dictionary, the Wikipedia of it, and also the translation if it's in a different language.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna need that everywhere because the book I'm reading right now, I had to like stop every word. Like that's why I'd be reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Harry Potter because I understand that, but once it gets to the adult level, I'm like, you used a big word today, so now I have to learn the word of the day. But for my favorite tech, I brought the most basic thing. I have my MacBook. I got it, I think, my senior year of high school. It's just been very useful. I had like a laptop and my grandma's laptop, and it didn't work unless I plugged it in. So it wasn't even a laptop. It was basically like a computer. Like it had to be a desktop because as soon as I unplugged it, the battery died. So I was like, let me get an upgrade. You know, let's go band for band on a MacBook. I just like the way like they improve it so much to where it kind of works with your other stuff. Like, for example, for my philosophy class, I have an app where I take notes on my iPad, and I don't even have to bring my computer to school. And when I go home, I can pull up the pages for what I wrote down. There's other stuff like I have the Apple softwares that you can like edit on Final Cut, and then I have Logic where you can make music. It does a lot of stuff in one little teeny tiny thing. I'm scared for it to kind of blow up because I'm already out of storage, so it's going to be a little struggle. But, you know, we live and we learn. But yeah, I really like my MacBook. It gets a lot done in the short amount of time that I need it to get done. I basically bring it everywhere I go. Like I remember when I first got it, I brought it to like a house party where we're supposed to play board games. And I'm like, finding stuff to do just to look extra.
Yeah.
I feel like it adds like that extra oomph, like, oh, that's a busy guy right there. He's
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
his computer.
That's a businessman.
and
like,
I'm literally like playing like cool math games. or something on it.
But you know, in all honesty, like I've heard, if you're in the in the world of digital media like we are, that MacBooks are a really good tool.
Yeah, they're
in
very
editing and things like that.
they're very solid, and they're just slowly trying to upgrade it with like the chips that they use. And one thing that surprised me the other day, I was on FaceTime and I was on the computer because I connected it to my monitor, and I was dragging the mouse, and then the mouse went onto my iPad.
Whoa.
And you can like control your iPad with like the mouse, and that was like a
Yeah.
wow moment for me, because I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know I could do this.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm not gonna use it because I'm not gonna like, I don't need to play video games on my iPad or anything. But I
But
was
it's
like,
just
it's there if I need it. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of, that's another thing about the MacBooks and the Apple products in general. There's a lot of extra stuff just in case you need it, but I don't really utilize it. Speaking of extra stuff, let's go into what tech is doing right now, where it's going. What do we think it's good? Is it going in a good direction? Going in a bad direction? What do you think about that?
I mean, honestly, I see it when it, it depends on how far in the future. Hopefully, all of us will be gone, but I see it taking over, like some Terminator kind of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I just that's what I see happening, because we're training, we're teaching AI like everything that we're supposed to be doing, everything we're supposed to know. We're teaching AI to do it, and what is the movie? Wall-E.
Mm-hmm.
And the humans that are like floating around in the ship, I see
Yeah.
us ending up like that, like just floating around somewhere. And I just feel like the future's not too bright. That's just me, but that's my paranoid side.
The humans slowly becoming useless
Yeah.
as the technologically advanced slowly take over. It's a little scary. I mean, we had movies in the early 2000s that talk about it.
Yes.
And I'm like, if y'all talking about it this far, like
Been
back in
talking about
time, is now they're making video games and like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. I'm like, I hope not, because I'm not trying to go into war with a Terminator. I'm not doing that. Cynthia, what about you?
Especially with the horrors of the Terminator franchise and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, it's always scary. But I feel like with technology evolving and so much that has happened with like the medical side, and also like for surgeries and everything, it's really like the surgery of the grape and everything.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that's the good side of technology improving, so that we have more access to help people.
Yeah.
But like with AI and some of the stuff that it's doing, or that people are using it for, I should say, I think that's the little bit of the downside of it.
Yes.
A little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I like how technology is evolving and it's slowly making it more user friendly, because it's starting to get harder as like they make it more complex. You have to try to explain it to all different kinds of people.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if there's a word, like the universal use of it is a very important part. But now we're trying to implement AI into things. Like I know they did the update on Snapchat where they have AI there, and it's just kind of like a little like Google for if you need it. I'm not going on Snapchat to look up stuff, but they're like, that's how prominent AI is now in our culture, that they're gonna add it to everything. Some of it is cool, some of it isn't cool. Like, I mess around with it, yeah, sure, but I think that it's slowly but surely getting to a point where our youth is not gonna know how to do things for themselves, and it's going to be so bad. Like, I'm a avid enforcer of critical thinking and common knowledge. Like, if you don't have common sense, don't talk to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't think something through, it's annoying. Like, I don't want to have to explain it to you. And if AI comes in and does it for you, you might as well just not be here. Like, the AI is just going to be your personality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of. You see?
Yeah, it's slowly getting scary. Like,
Yeah.
my friend, he's an engineer, and this is the good and the bad that we were talking about. Like, he needs to come up with code for some of his projects, and it's something that he like cannot think of. Like, I physically cannot think of something that would do this for me through this code.
Yeah.
So he could do it through AI, and the AI is like, here, try this, and then he utilizes it as an aid, not as a crutch.
Yeah.
But if you utilize it as a crutch, like what should I eat for lunch today, and
Yeah.
you're slowly like taking your brain and throwing it in the trash, I think it's just you're taking tech and you're going in the wrong direction with
You're
it.
cheating
Once you
yourself.
like fully depend on it, and that's the only thing that you depend on, then your critical thinking and everything, that's the downfall of technology. And but if we use technology to help us, and like it's not like a full crutch,
But as a
just
tool.
a little
Safety net.
yeah, a little, here you go, here's a little example, and then technology will obviously help us in
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like if we become heavily reliant on AI and stuff that kind of does things for us, it kind of just goes back to like movies. It reminds me of like movies like the Wall-E thing. Like we will turn into the Wall-E people because we will be heavily reliant on technology to do everything for us, to where like we're not going to want to do anything ourselves.
No.
No.
So we're just going to be sitting.
And there'll be
doing
no
nothing.
use for us to do anything.
Exactly. That's why on Wall-E, like the Earth becomes like inhabitable because we're not doing anything, and that's why the robots are on the Earth and we're just kind of floating around doing nothing. It also kind of reminds me of I don't know why I thought about this. In the new Willy Wonka, the Johnny Depp one,
Yeah.
the dad lost his job because he was either making, I don't remember what he was making. He was making like toothpaste caps or something, or like candy caps, and he lost his job because a robot like arm could do it
Replaced him.
faster.
Yeah.
And that's scary too. Like your job opportunity is about to get taken by an AI that we made. So you can't even like blame someone for like your job getting
we're doing it
taken
to
because we
ourselves.
made it. Yeah, we did it to ourselves. So if we slowly like start becoming stupider, or like God forbid Terminator happens where like these AI become physical and they start like doing stuff and they turn on us, it's our fault. So PSA to everybody out there, it's our fault. If anything goes wrong, it's our fault.
Yeah, we did it to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We did it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any closing remarks or anything?
For like the example they used for Willy Wonka, remember that at the end of the movie that he got a job with working on the robot that replaced him. So that's kind of like
It comes full circle.
yeah, it comes full circle. And if we, with us using technology, but also like helping it in a way that like, yeah, it is kind of labor intensive for, at least for that job that he was doing, but him or the company using machines also helps with the like the safety of it.
Yeah, that is true.
So
There's always a good side and
there's
a bad
always
side.
a good and a bad side for technology.
It's just how you look at it.
Yeah, but in how you look at it and also how you deal with it.
Yeah.
So,
How reliant you are upon it.
yeah.
Cynthia's preaching today.
That's
This morning.
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
Yeah.
that there's always, you can do like a wraparound. It just depends on how fast we move.
Yeah.
If technology takes over for itself, then we're not going to have room to do it. And that's
Yeah.
that's another thing we need to educate people on. Like now, like obviously we're trying to educate people how to use it, but you don't use it as a crutch because then like if you know how to use it, then you know how to get around it when it doesn't work, and that can create future jobs. So it's a glass half full, half empty type of thing.
Yeah.
It creates more jobs, but also could take your job. So
Yeah.
just be careful out there. But I think that was a good conversation. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Studio 214. Tune in next week where we are going to be talking about our favorite vacations. We'll see you next time.